Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my sages and newbies, and welcome to another session of Tarot Spills the Tea. The question is, why does Ashley's husband aim to make movies beyond his personal collection? Michael Darby's tarot reading uncovers the best and worst intimate desires related to his movie making decision. Advisory and mature content from the deck that I am introducing to you guys. It's new to you, it's not new to me, and it will be used here and there as a clarifier during this session, and it is aimed to be sensual, okay, if you know what I mean. Alright, so just in case you don't know what I mean, let's get started so you can see. Of course, as usual, I need to let everyone know just exactly who I am. I am Indigo Sage, an awakened soul. I do have a spiritually based website at www.unapologeticallysage.com. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now, for the clarifiers, a lot of them I used my personally designed Ultimate Clarifiers deck, where I was guided by spirit to design it and create the guidebook for it, okay? And it's no coincidence, it happens to be my most favorite clarifying cards, okay? So let's get into the nitty gritty. I know. Some of you guys are like, how much of the nitty gritty do you want? I promise, I'm not gonna give you too much of Michael Darby's nitty to the gritty, okay? Just enough. We just gonna take a peek, okay? You know, I always tell you guys, it's like peeking in the window. We're just gonna peek just a little bit. Let's go. But first, before we continue, what I need you all to do is bring your beautiful eyes to the bottom of your screen, no matter what screen you're looking at, whether that is your iPhone, your Android, your Cricket, your whatever screen, whether it's an iPad, a laptop, a notebook, whether it's your flat screen or big booty screen TV, whatever screen you're looking at, bring your beautiful eyes to the bottom of it and look at that red bar at the bottom, and what it says is, this is for entertainment purposes only, and every single word is what alleged and not to be used as facts. So anytime that you see this red bar at the bottom, the sentence inside applies. All right, so I chose to use the beautiful deck of Easy Tarot because it's very colorful, and believe it or not, I do feel like Mr. Darby is colorful himself. I believe he comes in all shades. Okay? So, in the past position, it was in reverse, and it's represented by the Page of Wands. The page is the messengers of the royal kingdom. This page is full of ideas but doesn't think them through. Upright, this card comes in with good news. However, it wasn't upright. Now, I've said this before, that the court cards, which is the pages, the knights, queens, and kings, they represent people in our life or that person, the querent, okay? In this case, I feel like the page is, in fact, Michael. You know, because upright, he'd be coming in with good news. The page usually is someone young or immature, or in this case, young in the, as it relates to the movie making business, okay? Reverse suggests someone didn't receive this as good news. Michael is coming in as the page, upright and giddy, but Ashley views his position in the reverse, which means not good news. I know. I saw last episode she was smiling as she was letting her family in on this new endeavor of his, but it's not good news to her. Point blank and period. Let's look at the clarifier. Now, the past clarifier is from my deck. And also, just to let you guys know, even though the deck that I chose to use to clarify the best and worst of it is from the sensual deck called Casanova's Tarot, okay? It's only for those two, the best and worst, and this reading is not going to be inundated with nudity, although there is just a little bit, all right? Which is why it's for mature audiences, okay? We're all adults here. So the past clarifier came up in reverse, and that card from the Ultimate Clarifier's deck is titled, "Your best bet for a long, vibrant future begins with home." It was in reverse, okay? You need to do a reset by going home to your family, possibly making amends while hearing others out and accepting genuine family love. Reverse suggests he either doesn't see the need or just plainly refuses to do it. And what stood out to me with this clarifier is that basically, and I can't recall right now in my mind exactly his body language as he was talking to Ashley, introducing this idea, but no matter what his body language was saying and no matter what his words were saying, no matter what his lips was saying, he had already made up in his mind that this is what I'm going to do. So I can't recall if he presented it as a question, like, can I do this? Should I do this? Should we do this? How do you feel about, us going into the movie making business? But with these two cards that I'm looking at, it doesn't matter what those words consisted of. In his mind, it was already made up, okay? Which is why the clarifier was in reverse. He's not thinking about what's best for the long run and consulting his home life or family. He had already had that made up in his mind. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's see what's in the present, because as I always say, the past is important because that is what directly and most highly influenced the present. And the present is the card that says, here's why I made this decision. So let's look at that. Aha, the present. What do we have here? We have the Ace of Pentacles, the quaint, the money, honey, okay? Are we surprised? So, you know what? Let me say this. I am a tad bit, and here's the reason why. Because I was kind of thinking that him wanting to make movies came out of nowhere. And so maybe this is some kind of passion of his. It's always been a passion of his. I took it kind of the same as I would if he busted out and said, I want to be a professional ballerina. I've been had these pink slippers in the closet all these years. That. So because to me, as an audience member watching, it came out of nowhere. So I'm like, oh, this must be a passion of his, like a secret passion. So I kind of expected the present card to be something that would reflect this is his passion. But no, it's the quaint. Okay, a big old coin. This beautiful card is, and it was in the upright. It was in the upright. This beautiful card is fantastic to receive upright if you are looking to start a new business venture. However, in this reading, it simply represents Michael's determining factor to dive head first in the movie business. It also implies that he received important info in written form regarding monetary nature as it pertains directly to his new endeavor. So before he announced this to Ashley, somewhere, somehow, some way, he got the green light from someone. Okay? The clarifier for the present card, which is the Ace of Pentacles, was also upright. Okay, this man's serious about this. And that one says how to build it and radiate it. Okay, get into it. This card instructs you to do things differently than you're used to. It answers, you have something great at your fingertips. You need to learn how to build it in a way that allows it to radiate afterwards. In other words, learn how to bring positivity into the situation rather than negativity. Okay? That was interesting. Because Spirit is now showing me that he has a temper, and they're showing me that scene between him and the other Chris, Candace's Chris, when really, he had I call it a temper tantrum. I do feel like adults sometimes have temper tantrums like they are between the ages of 5 and 10. And that's what he showed us, the viewing audience. And so basically, if things don't go right, this card, this clarifier, is telling him to be patient with it, because really you don't know what the F you're doing in the first place. So you need to be patient and grow your skills and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a feeling that he's going to lose patience somewhere in there. Let's keep going. Best. This is the best position. Okay. What he sees as the best to come, the best outcome of him jumping headfirst into the movie making business. So I've got some bullet points first, because this is very simple, honey. This was upright. Okay. He is serious about his quaint 10 of Pentacles, which is about the money, finance, large sums of money, increase in finance, and inheritances. Goodness, y'all know what I'm saying. Which, to be honest, when I first picked up the deck and channeled his energy, before any card was laid out, I got the feeling, and I seen a vision of him thinking about his children. So he wants to earn more in order to provide more for his children. He has 2 now. And I get a strong sense that he wants to move. He wants more space. I don't know where they live. I don't know how big it is. I don't know how many rooms they have. But I know there's 2 things that is sticking out. He wants more space, like a larger living space. And to be honest, well, I was going to say they really kind of do, because they don't have it didn't seem like they had a playroom for the children. When they had that photo session, it just seemed like everything took place in that one space. I'm not knocking it. However, the husband, now I'm calling him the husband, Michael, he wants more space. So he's feeling cramped. Okay. So he's doing this, and also inheritance. Yeah. He wants to leave something. He wants more money for his kids. And I don't know, they're saying pressure. I don't know if he's pressuring himself, or if there's an outside person pressuring him, or if Ashley's pressuring him and we're not seeing it. But he's feeling pressure, and now I'm being led to like it's self pressure. Okay. Ultimately, this card shows the satisfaction of feeling settled and secure materialistically. This is what he wants. The best for him is his home and family having a firm and comfortable foundation. His mind translates all is well in his world. So that's what this means to him. Jumping in this business to make big bucks quickly, you know, then he'll feel comfortable. He doesn't feel comfortable. Like I said earlier, cramped. He feels cramped. Let's go to the clarifier, okay? Now, this is where you might want to close your eyes or whatever if you real sensitive to nudity. But let's peek anyway. We're going to peek anyway. Oops. Not yet. Okay? Psych, I fooled you. By accident, though. Because the clarifier is coming up. I forgot that if you notice right dead smack in the middle of your screen is a white arrow. Because I noticed there was a teeny tiny sword in the leaves right above the chest up there. Okay? So what I do is, I do the spread, I take the photos, and I organize the photos, and then as I do the reading, I hold the cards in my hand and do the reading. And I do that as well when I'm doing the summary and everything. It helps me connect better. Anyway, I noticed that little sword. And I was like, I never noticed a sword there before. So that's different. And I was thinking, this is pentacles. So why is the sword, encroaching on the pentacles territory? So I'm like, I never noticed that. I haven't seen that. Now, I do know what swords mean. Swords is serious business. Swords come in and cut straight through the BS. They slice and dice. Swords are about communication and words. Okay, very upfront, blunt words. You can't pull the wool over somebody's eyes if they got the sword. Okay, they'll slice it right off. They're not playing. So I was like, ooh, okay. So does this mean that he's gonna have to use his words and get with Ashley? Because I know she's not 100% on board with this. I know she's not. And we don't know exactly what's going on. Like, the camera has not showed us what's going on in the privacy, behind the scenes. But I know that I'm getting the feeling that he's having to tell her to stand down, kind of, sort of speak. But here's what's interesting. When I picked up the card and looked at it, there was no sword. So just to prove my point that this came out of nowhere, and this is the reason why it took me by surprise, is because it's actually not there. Okay. But clearly, you can see there's a sword there, but it's really not there. So I took a little snippet, about 20 seconds of a live video to show you guys the card so that you can see that it's not actually there. So all I can say is this, okay? Maybe that's the way the light is reflecting off of it. Nonetheless, I feel like it still matters and still holds weight. Because when I saw it, after I got past all of the, what is that doing there? I never saw that. Instantly, I was like, he is checking her. I think he's checking her. Now, on the other hand, but that's the strong feeling I'm getting. I was going to say, on the other hand, she could be slicing and dicing him with her words too now. So let me play this clip, and then we'll look at the clarifier. Okay, as promised, here is a live shot of the card. And there's no sword. No sword. Okay, wasn't that interesting? At least I thought so. Moving right along to something that is may or may not be as interesting, okay? Because after all, it's just boobies, it's just breast. All right, so the clarifier came from the Casanova Tarot deck, which is the sensual deck. And usually I use this for love readings, but since everybody, let me tell you guys, plain and simply, why I decided to pull this deck out for Michael, for clarifying the best and worst as he sees it, as he, enters this movie making endeavor. The reason why is because a lot of people have been saying, assuming, and making me second guess. Did he say he was going to be in the adult film industry? I don't recall him saying that. However, I've listened to many people, review it and talk about it and discuss it and mention it. And I'm going to say there's a large percent, more so than not, that are suggesting that he's going into the adult film industry. So much so to where I questioned my friends and said, did he say that? Because I don't recall that. So drop down in the comments and let me know yes or no if that man said it, or what is making an overwhelming amount of people come to the conclusion that he's going to be going into the adult film industry. Maybe I missed it. Okay, it's a possibility. I'm not perfect. But I'm like, I don't think he said that. Why everybody saying that? So anyway, any kind of sensual, intimate inclinations will be drawn out with this deck. Okay. Because honestly, only if I had to guess, it's like 50-50. 50% of the cards have sensual, suggestive positions, which include nudity, and then the other 50% does not. Okay, so if that intimate desire is there, this card will show it. And so I go off of imagery when it comes to this deck. The imagery tells it all. Okay, now this is Nine of Pentacles, but again, that doesn't matter so far as I'm not getting ready to go to the traditional route. My regular sages already know I'm all about the imagery. Okay, and it was in reverse. Now, yes, it's sticking to him feeling like the best of it has to do with his coins. Okay, the money, that is his purpose. That is his sole purpose of going into this endeavor, is to provide for his boys. Okay, and he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. Now, it was in reverse. Of course, that's opposite of what I just said. Don't nobody want their coins in reverse, especially as a best in the best, what he imagines to be the best. No. And this is clarifying the 10 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles in reverse does not mean that this man wants his pentacles in reverse and that's what he sees as his best. The reason why this is in reverse is if you look at that photograph, the imagery on this card, you can see that there's Casanova being Casanova, rubbing on a little bit of this and kissing on a little bit of that. All the while, it's clear to see that she is in her husband's bed. He is asleep. He may even be on the sick and shut-in list. Okay? He could be elderly and dying, and here he over here, enticing her to do something to do something that neither one of them got any business doing. Okay, well, actually, Casanova was single. However, clearly she's not. So with this being in reverse, let me tell you, this is saying he views this as a perk. Now, this is, let me tell you, I'm getting two things, but I'm talking about the main thing, the biggest thing that I'm getting, okay? This may come as a perk. I'm getting the word like perk, little, what do you call it? Oh my gosh. What do you call it when you are doing something and you benefit from it, like small benefits? I know it can be called perk, but, gosh, when they say this is the so-and-so of the job, it's not the perks of the job. What is it called? And it's not the benefits of the job. Oh my gosh, watch. When I'm done with this video, it's going to come up. But if you guys know what I'm trying to say, and I know perk works, but that's not, maybe that is it. The perks of the job. Anyway, that's how he views that. But it was in reverse because it's a secret. Okay? It's a secret that is being suppressed, that he doesn't want anyone to know that this is in the back of his mind. Okay, now that's the huge feeling theme that I'm getting with this clarifier for best, what he sees as the best. Okay, because you know, when you're a movie producer, a filmmaker, you got to travel and do all kinds of stuff. So that would be like letting a pit bull loose up in the movie theater or whatever, you know. Like Jamie Foxx said, get your pit, dog. Get your pit. Who's pit? You know, it's like he'll be let loose. You know. And he can just say, I'm working, you know. Anyway, the other one that is lingering on like 5-10% of it could be while he's so damn busy working, trying to provide for his boys, Mrs. Darby may get a little something on the side. Okay? That's there. It's hanging on about 5-10%, but leaning more a little closer to the 5%, but it's there, and I'm not gonna ignore it. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? I saw that. That's there. And this is a situation where two things can be true at the same time. Let's go on to see what he imagines to be the worst. But first, all right, my sages, you already know what I'm getting ready to ask of you. I am going to ask that you go ahead and be kind and click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And click the bell. Go ahead and ring my bell. And you know what? The worst is coming right after this. But when I just said be kind, I was going to say, especially looking at that filmmaker's camera, I was gonna say be kind, rewind. I used to work for my very first job actually was at a small little place, kind of like Blockbuster, but it was local, so it wasn't called Blockbuster, but it was just like Blockbuster, and Blockbuster took us out. Okay, I was a supervisor of my area, you know. But anyway, not regional. What is it called? I forgot what my title was. That was so long ago. Like I said, that was my first job. But everything, it was VHS tapes, and they all said be kind, rewind, honey. Anyway, let's continue. Let's hope. First of all, let's hope that Michael Darby don't wish to rewind after he get done jumping head first into this. You know, my concern is that he doesn't have he's not going to have the patience to build the skills and the knowledge that it takes to be successful. I'm not seeing that in here anywhere. Okay, I do see straight up he has good intentions to provide for his family. I see that. I don't see the development of the skills that's needed. But let's go and see what this man imagines to be the worst. All right, all right, all right. Here we go. I even had to change the music, y'all, because we're looking at the worst. What he imagines to be the worst. And it's quite different. Just look at her. Look at her. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this. Queen of Wands. She was in reverse, okay? Let me read my summary. Page of Wands, Queen of Wands says she's a full-time mother full of energy who has mastered the skill of multitasking. That's her in general. And the her, as I've already said, these court cards represent people. This is how he imagines Ashley. This is Ashley's energy in his mind. How did Ashley end up in the worst? Okay, let's ponder that. But she's not only in the worst, but she's reversed. But, it's beautiful. He imagines her, as a mother full of energy, who's mastered the skill of multitasking and organized and, all of this kind of stuff. It goes on and on and on to say real family woman, puts her family first, head of the PTA, organizing the, just real family oriented and quick to, be helpful when it comes to the family. All of that. That's beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful. However, reverse suggests some opposite traits: hot-tempered, disorganized, controlling, and smothering. Vengeful tendencies, though not in an upfront manner. She leans towards cattiness as her favorite way of communication. Is that Ashley? I don't know. I ain't watched all the episodes of Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay? I'll be the first one to say that. I haven't watched all the episodes. Is that Ashley? Is she catty? Because I don't know. Maybe I don't know what cattiness is. But Spirit is saying she uses cattiness as communication. That ain't cool. But anyway, all of these traits that he has, he must have seen this in her. Okay? This is what he imagines to be the worst, which I'm wondering, does that mean like if he fails, then he's going to see these traits come out of her? Or is he gonna see those traits come out of her no matter what in the beginning until he succeeds? Because you know how you can have somebody in your life that's like nagging you and saying this ain't a good idea, this ain't a good idea, this ain't a good idea, until you make it. Then they like, I always believed in you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, because this is what he sees as the worst now. Okay, point blank period. So I'm wondering, is it in anticipation of if he doesn't succeed in the movie making business, or is this her right now, no matter what, until he make it and shut her up? I don't know. Y'all gotta drop down in the comments and tell me a little bit more about Miss Ashley. Is that her? I don't know. Let's look at the clarifier, because this clarifier also came from the Casanova deck, and the clarifier will clarify. Let's go. Okay, and of course, the clarifier has what clarified? Made it very clear. Very clear. Look at this man. Look at this man. Somebody come and look at this. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. Again, the Pentacles, okay? Darby, Mr. Darby. Ooh, Spirit said, and Miss Darby, honey, about the Pentacles, the coin, the money. Okay, get to the money, honey. 5 of Pentacles. Now, I've already told you guys, I've broken down many times before about the 5s, the number 5 in tarot. It's not great. When it, especially upright, it's in full not greatness. Just look at it. Look at it. Okay? This ain't nothing sensual or sexy about this card. This card highlights the fact that the challenges are draining the relationship. So that kind of answers my question that I posed a few, moments ago when I said, is she the type of person that's going to talk mess until he makes it? That may be the case. But either way, the worst result of him jumping head first into this movie making venture is him ending up sitting right next to this man. Okay? Now, I didn't say it. What I'm getting ready to say, I'm not the one that said it. I'm just repeating what I've heard other folks imply, that Miss Ashley may have, had a family, expanded the family with him as a way to secure her point. But when you're a filmmaker, you have to invest in it. There may be no coins to secure. Okay? They both might be sitting next to that man. Anyway, this is what he imagines to be the worst. Let's keep going. What's to come? This card, I'm going to tell you right now, before I read the summary, I'm going to tell you right now, this confirms me having that strong feeling earlier that he's pressuring himself. Okay, this is self-imprisonment. This is the card, this is 8 of Swords. This is what he imagines to come. And it is what's to come. However, we have free will, so it can go either way. Let me read this summary and then I'll break it down. Due to his confidence taking a hit, fear paralyzes him. And that fear will prevent him from moving forward. Unless he takes the blindfold off and learn the lesson, only then will he move in the direction of success. Okay, so it's like he's gonna take a hit or something. Like something's not gonna go. Like I said, he hasn't learned it all. He's diving in head first, and I get the feeling that he must have some kind of partner or something in this, or some kind of guide in this, someone who he feels like he can count on and help him. They're gonna fall short of his expectations of help. That's gonna be a hit to him. He's gonna feel like he's being left hanging, and right in that moment, he's gonna have a choice. Either he's gonna let fear consume him and he's gonna just sink with the ship, or he can loosen the ties that bind him, because the imagery, this woman, even though she feels imprisoned, she's actually not. The chains are loose, they're not secure, so she can get out of them. Once she gets out of them, she can take the bandana off of her eyes and see. These swords are illuminated because that represents knowledge that is readily available to him. Okay? But he has to take the chains off and the bandage off, which no one's forcing it on him but himself. Once he takes that off, he can receive the knowledge. This is a very important time where he needs to take the lesson and leave the experience and keep it pushing. But we all have free will. So he has a choice, as we all do. So when you take a hit, you run into something, you go in, you're all excited and pumped up and you're feeling real good, and your spirit guide told you this is the way to go, and then boom, you take a hit. You can either shake it off. Let me tell you something. When you're in these type of situations and you take a hit, sometimes, I'm going to say more often than not, Spirit does that on purpose so that you can ask yourself if this is what you really want. It's a test. Plain and simple. We all get tested. We all, as I'm speaking, can recall a time where you were tested and you had to decide right then and there. on the road you was jogging on, you was running on, you know what I'm saying? And then you feel like, oh, I just got hit by a bus or a match up. You got to decide, okay, should I turn around and go back home, you know, and say, whoa, I tried it, it didn't work, you know, or push forward. It's a choice, and it's called free will. That's what's to come for him. Let's look at the clarifier. Okay, I love this part. This song says, you lead the way and I'll catch up. I get all deep and all into this song when this part come on, okay? You can lead the way and I'll catch up. All right. Anyway, what's to come? Clarifier is reversed. And it says, when you're being spoon-fed, measure your response. It was reversed. He believes he's surrounded by someone who will hold his hand and guide him by filling in the blanks. But little does he know, said person will make him feel left high and dry to fend for himself. It will be a sink or swim moment. Most definitely. Let's look at his energy, shall we? The energy influence. Now, you guys know, my regular sages know, this spread officially is 5 cards, okay? You got the past, present, best, worst, what's to come. Now, as a tarot reader, I always look at the energy influence and I share it with the querent. Some people don't. I do. Because the energy influence is very important. This is the energy that you're working on. It's like the gas that you put in a car in order for the car to go. Okay? So, yeah, we got to see what kind of gas you putting up in there. The right gas, the wrong gas, cheap gas, expensive gas. What kind of gas you got? So, the kind of gas he's working with behind his movie-making ventures is the Hermit. Reversed. Reversed, the Hermit suggests that he feels like he laid in wait long enough and is ready to put his thoughts into action. So this really, what jumped out to me was he had been thinking about this for a while. And he's just now saying something. But again, that kind of ties into earlier, I can't remember which card it was, but it said that he received something in written form that kind of gave him the green light. Okay? Plain and simple. The clarifier. Yes, I did. I clarified the energy, y'all. And it came from my deck, Ultimate Clarifier's deck. There's nothing like feeling alive. And that was upright. Okay? The Hermit is reversed because the Hermit was reversed. You haven't felt alive in a long time. And you are ready to enjoy yourself. How should we take that? Drop down in the comments and let me know how we should take that. He's ready to enjoy himself. He hasn't felt alive in a long time. What, since last season when he was butted naked? Anyway, let's continue. Wow, look how quickly time passes when you're having fun. All right. I knew I wouldn't be too long on Michael Darby. I ain't got much to give him, okay? But I wanted to see for myself if he was going into the adult film industry, okay? So overall, I don't feel like he was going into the adult film industry. I do feel like, you know, he's going to be, he may be prone. Look. The best of it was the perks of it. We saw what that was. That man had a titty in his mouth, okay? So we know what that is. So he gonna be doing adult film industry activities, possibly. That's what he sees as a perk. So we'll see. All we can do is see, you know, because everybody has free will. Just because that is the way it looks right now in this moment, anything can happen to make him see that that's not how he should be, or for all we know, Ashley could give him the green light. Either way, I found a beautiful, bluntly stated quote from a filmmaker and producer who has many, many, many accolades as the first Mexican American filmmaker and producer to do a lot of things, and he has Academy Awards and all kinds of stuff. Many, many accolades, okay? And plain and simply, I feel like he summarized it best. He said, filmmaking can give you everything, but at the same time, it can take everything from you. Now, I researched, y'all know the nerd in me, sometimes I gotta nerd it out. I researched what interview he said that in and what exactly did it pertain to. Guess what? I'm going to spare you guys. I'm not going to read all of that, but I am going to tell you what he was referring to was it consuming him. See, this person, Alejandro, and I cannot pronounce his last, Alejandro Gonzalez, and I'm not going to even try it because I'd murder it, and I don't want to do that. But Mr. Alejandro Gonzalez, he too is married and has 2 children. And he was discussing this industry and you know, how he decides which movies to take on and not. And basically he was saying that it's a delicate balance because before you know it, when you are knee deep in it and you want to produce an excellent film, it will consume you. So, I'm wondering, do y'all think that Michael is the type of person that will get consumed by this because he wants to produce the absolute best product? I don't see that happening. I can see him being consumed in the industry for other reasons, but none of them rings out to me that he's, you know, consumed with producing the most excellent, perfect film. I don't see that. But I do see the potential for him to be consumed and tempted, shall I say, by other things that surrounds and comes with, or as he imagines it, the perks, quote unquote. Okay. Nonetheless, thank you so much for your time. I kept it sweet and short to the point, and I want to thank you for your support. And again, I want to remind you to please click like and subscribe. Okay? Thank you so much. And ring my bell so that you will be notified the next time there's a session. Okay? All right. Also, please continue to be safe. We must accept this is just the way we must live now. And wash your hands. Please. All right? That's the least we all can do. Wash your hands and be safe. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, I've given you something to think about. And drop down in the comments so we can have a conversation. All right? Thank you and bye.